My name is Jonathan Williams. I'm a student at UMBC. I'm a senior. I study physics and philosophy. I'm here representing UMBC Solidarity Coalition. We're an activist group on campus, and part of our activism involves anti-war campaign. But my question to you is, I understand that supporting the troops, you know, I've had two friends that have died there, and they're younger than me, in fact, and before they died, they sent correspondence indicating that they were not properly equipped. They do need more armor. But I don't understand why they would need more armor if they weren't there in the first place. I don't think that supporting the troops, you know, sending them more armor is going to be very helpful. My friends don't need more armor. They need to come home. So you stated this very clearly that they need more armor. How will you proceed? I mean, how?
I think one thing you'll see next week when the Appropriations Committee takes up the supplemental for Iraq is, I think you will see the senator in a leadership position. She's looking for every opportunity in the consideration of the supplemental to limit the president's authority and to make sure that we limit that authority without limiting the material that's critical to the safety of the troops. The problem is, and I don't know if you're all aware of this, there is no budget for this war. The money is hidden everywhere. So there's no way for an appropriator in the House or Senate to know when they reduce funding what the impact of that reduction is. And that has been a game. There's no question about it. The Democrats have not been able to even call a hearing to investigate what the impact of a funding reduction would be, and that's why a lot of them have gone, like the senator has, very reluctantly along with the administration's requests for money for the war. But they do, now they're in charge, they now have investigation ability, they now have the access to information that they didn't have before, and the ability to call hearings and run deliberations and debates, and I think you're going to see a very different Congress next week. That's her intention, to explore, to use that bill every which way she can. It's not going to be an up or down, gung-ho vote for money for the war.
Does she publicly commit to not vote or support any more money for the war or occupation?
No, but what she will commit to is to exploring every option she can in those deliberations too.
Well, I mean, if I may,
I'm sorry that you say it that way.
She's an active supporter. She's voting for money.
Yep.
if I may, you assert that she wants to vote for the supplemental because it would do things like provide more armaments.
Well, I mean,
and
the
such.
supplemental.
But if they don't even know where the money's going, how can she at all publicly claim that the reason she's voting for it is because it will provide more armor, more protection, more anything? She can't say she knows any of that for sure then, correct? So why would that be funding it? Why would she fund it at all?
Because we know the result of not providing that money. What the result of not providing that money.
What is the
But I have to tell you, I'm not a. I feel very much on thin ice here. I work on state issues. I'm not the expert on DoD appropriations.
That's what. Yeah. We would like to meet with her. She has a lot
thin ice. You don't have to
explain to us.
You could call her and tell her I can't do this. That would be a moral thing to do. I can't do it. I want you to meet with them so you can talk face to face.
I will definitely relay that message. I'm hearing that very clearly.
Why is she afraid to?
The strong voice that she has.
Oops, so sorry.
She's had in her history of serving the people of Maryland.
But has certainly not had recently.
She also serves Bowen. She also serves.
Why is she afraid to meet with us? That's what I want to know. Why is she afraid to meet with us? I'd like an answer to that question.
Why won't she respond to constituent phone calls, emails, and letters? I've sent probably a dozen in the last few months, and I haven't got every other member of Congress that I've contacted has responded. And here's our senior citizen, and she can't have a staffer fire off an email? I'm stunned. I am stunned. I have called locally. I have called Washington.
Everyone says
I send letters. What does it take?
I'm so very surprised to hear that.
Surprise herself.
Well, you know,
response to
It's going the right direction, I hope.
It's not.
If you can
Even
give
if
me-
it's not the
I've already written it on your
May I
stuff.
have your card as well?
Yes.
I've come with questions, not statements, and none of them have been answered. And I feel sort of cheated in that the people she's brought to answer them can't do that.
Yeah, I'm Alan Rebar. I'm not going to bother saying, that I represent this or that group. I'm Alan Rebar. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm from Maryland. I'm from Maryland my whole life. I just want to say, I think I'm standing here with everyone else that is in favor of getting the troops out now. They need to come home now. That's all there is to it. The whole thing's based on lies. I differ with a lot of people here, probably, that I think it's not very wise to place any hopes in the Democrats, and I don't think it's something. I don't think Mikulski has the right to all of a sudden become a leader somehow by stepping up and leading the charge to get the troops out. She's responsible for this as much as everyone else. The blood's on her hands. They'll get out when they have to get out, when they have no choice, when they're forced out by the Iraqi insurgents or by the troops refusing to fight, as they began to do in greater and greater numbers at the end of the Vietnam War. The representative from Mikulski is right that, yeah, sure, the equipment's falling apart. Why is it falling apart? For the same reason it was falling apart in the Vietnam War. There's not enough money to get all this stuff done as quick as it needs to be done. They're getting blown to pieces over there. They've been blowing up tanks. Now they're shooting down helicopters. I think we have to find, it's going to end when it ends, and the Democrats, don't let them take credit for leading the charge if they eventually do. Don't. And I think we should consider finding other ways to make things happen, both now and in the future. I think we need a workers' party. I think we can't. Again and again in our history, people place their hopes in the Democratic Party thinking they represent ordinary people, and they don't. We need to build a political party of ordinary working people and not place any hopes in the Democrats.